What if I told you there's a huge mistake you're making as a motion designer, and it's massively holding you back? But there's a really simple way you can fix it, and I'm going to share with you how. When you're learning After Effects or want to brush up on some new skills, you can really spend hours searching through YouTube trying to find the right video. However, this time will be so much better spent if you are experimenting in After Effects yourself and working on some of your own personal projects. Believe me when I say this is where 90% of people will really begin to improve. Immediately, you might be thinking, but Scott, I don't know where to start, and I don't know how to start with this. Well, don't worry, that's exactly what I'm going to share with you in this video. Every personal project stems from an idea. However, this is without a doubt one of the hardest parts to creating a personal project. But rather than just sitting at your desk and getting frustrated you can't come up with any ideas, there's a few simple steps that I'd recommend. First, build an album of inspiration and reference. I'd recommend searching through things like Behance, Pinterest, and even Instagram too. It will give you a chance to really find out what kind of work you actually like and the sort of thing that you want to be making that inspires you. And this is the perfect opportunity to make such things because a client will probably never give you that freedom. However, you've seen something you like that could have been made by a studio, and rather than stressing out thinking you need to make a whole 2-minute incredible animation, start condensing it down into something that's maybe 5 or 10 seconds long. Perhaps you can base it on a word that comes to mind, something that's happened in your day, an experience during your life that you might have had, and just start writing whatever comes to mind down on paper. At this point, it really doesn't matter, and anything is better than nothing. Then I'd recommend expanding on this topic with lists or mind maps, whichever comes more naturally to you. For instance, if you wrote down summer, you might associate that with like a beach ball, swimming pool, being at the beach, something like that, and you can really then stem ideas from that. Now, eventually, one of these ideas and topics will really begin to get you excited, and you'll start thinking about all the ways that you can bring this to life. And when you have your idea, it's time to begin sketching. Now, I admit, this might seem quite daunting, particularly if you're more comfortable using a computer. Believe me, I was the same as well. However, you definitely don't want to hop straight into After Effects and try flesh out an idea, because it probably won't end well. This step is quite crucial in the process. Instead, sketch out a couple of frames for your idea, and they don't have to be perfect, they can be rough as anything. Even if you can't draw that well, this is still going to help you get your idea out and think about how it might move. So while you are sketching these frames out, think about how you could make the scene come alive or how certain things might move. And it can be as simple or as intricate as you like. I'd also recommend you start writing little notes next to each frame to begin directing the concept you might have in mind. After all, you're an artist, and it's all about giving your work its own personality and style. Now it's time to go digital using either Illustrator or Photoshop, whichever you find most comfortable. I, however, have been wanting to improve my Illustrator skills and came across these classes by DKNG Studios over on Skillshare to help with just that. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry professionals across animation, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and way more. I really enjoyed taking these classes, which gave me a chance to learn about the mesh tool to create more intricate gradients and 3D looking shapes. It also allowed me to learn more about clipping masks, which is something I've always stayed away from in Illustrator, and usually end up doing in After Effects. Now, however, it'll mean I can focus on the design side of things before hopping into After Effects in my future projects. This year, why not invest in yourself and really take your skills to the next level? And if you're not sure where to start, Skillshare has you covered with Learning Paths. Learning Paths are hand-picked classes meant to be taken in order that build on one another to reinforce the skills you're learning. And if you're a little further along in your journey, don't worry, they are available in a range of experience levels from beginner to advanced and cover a variety of topics as well. My classes were a part of the Next Level Adobe Illustrator build, confidence and skill learning path, as I'd consider myself more of an intermediate user, so this suited me perfectly. To help give you a head start, the first 500 people to use my link below will be given a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. With Skillshare offering so much incredible free value, you really don't want to miss out. And a massive thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now you've had a chance to brush up on some skills, it's time to begin our storyboard. Having a script to work from will make it much easier to design your frames. Now when I say script, I don't mean you need to write a full-on Lord of the Rings trilogy in Illustrator. Simply adding a few lines to help guide and direct your movement will just help with the design process and the flow of your animation. Now it's time to get to work, and this is where your design will really matter. I promise you, the more time you spend in Illustrator and on the design of your concept, you'll spend much less time stressing in After Effects. So whether you choose to only design a few style frames and key points of your animation, or you want to board right down to how the transitions will work and look in themselves, it's entirely up to you and what works best. At this point, it's really just about your confidence in your own abilities and how much stress you want to give yourself in After Effects. Once you're happy with your storyboard, it's time to bring it over into After Effects. Now personally, I use the plugin Overlord when I'm working with shape and text layers, as it makes things much easier and 10 times faster. Otherwise, you'll want to save out each frame as its own file with separate layers and import this as a composition with retained layer sizes. This part is super important. It means all your layers bounding boxes will be based on the size of the layer and not the size of the composition. And layer size is much easier to work with. Now if you're like me, it's finally time for the fun part, the animation. Now I recommend first creating an animatic, which basically just means timing all your frames out as stills, and especially to an audio track if you're using one. For example, shot 1 might last 1 second, shot 2 might last 3 seconds, and so on. Of course, don't feel like this is a rule you have to follow, it just gives you an idea of how long your frames might be on screen for and whether they need more or less time. Of course, don't forget to allow time for your transitions too. Now I always work in passes, so I'll do a rough animation first, and most of the time this will just be linear keyframes on top of my animatic. And I'll just keep going over each pass to refine the movement each time until I'm happy with it. Use your storyboard as the base of your animation, as that's why we made it. However, if something doesn't quite feel right or you don't like the look of it, don't be afraid to change it. Sometimes what we've designed might not flow as well when we actually come to do it, and it's perfectly fine to make it look better. Now add all your finishing touches like your layer styles, glows, noise, whatever it might be, and then you're ready for rendering. Creating projects like this will really develop your skills extremely quickly. It gives you a chance to work on all the different aspects of motion design and find out what your weak points may be and what you might need to improve on. However, if you want a couple new techniques to add to your personal project, I'd recommend watching this video next.